preferential treatment from my peers. It also attracted attention, and so made my father paranoid about kidnappings. As luck would have it, we were never targeted. Our money and my peaches and cream complexion contributed to my isolation, though lately I've begun to wonder if I tell myself that to sidestep the responsibility for being an exile in body and soul. No matter where I've travelled, I've always been someplace else. At my age, melancholy is part of my inner landscape. Last month I turned 59. I turn my gaze inward and back on my life far more than I look out to the world around me. Mostly because I'm not interested and don't like what I find out there. Maybe they're the same thing. I suppose my neurosis has something to do with my scathing reading of the here and now, but it's also inevitable. As Octavio Paz would say, this is the house of glances, my house of glances. I have no other. I accept my snobbish nature. More than accept, I embrace my hatreds. Maybe that's the definition of maturity. When I left Colombia, mothers still made sure their daughters' knees weren't showing. Now, nothing is left to the imagination. That's another thing that shocked me when I came back. I felt like women's breasts were coming after me with aggressive insolence. At any rate, I haven't managed to readapt to Colombia, and in France I was always a foreigner. I didn't go to Paris just to study. I was fleeing. I was comfortable there for a long time. I got married, had a daughter, pursued my career. But then the years pressed in on me like thorns, and my memories grew hazy, until the day I understood it was time I came back. Divorced, with 57 Aprils under my belt, and a 22-year-old daughter studying at the Sorbonne, I packed my life into 3 old suitcases and made the trip without her. Arlene speaks Spanish with an accent and makes mistakes. She's stunning, slim and very tall, with a preference for women over men that might be fleeting or here to stay. Not that it worries me too much. Though I know that if the poor thing lived here, she would have to put up with moralizers, bullying. Things have changed somewhat, it's true. At least now you see a few foreigners in the streets, and there are more people who think differently. Even so, aside from my friend Lucia Estrada, with whom I've rekindled my friendship after almost 2 decades, I'm very alone. Not that I need anyone. Not really. Colombia is passion, according to the poster that greeted me at the airport. And the other day the press reported 15 dead after a massacre in the south. That passion must be what makes me hate some people so fervently. Senora Urrutia, Senora Pombo and Senora McAllister, who invite me to take tea and to pray for a sick friend, or for the 11 children killed in the latest landslide in the city's south, where they've never set foot. The doormen who take such pleasure in denying everyone entry, the security convoys that charge through the rest of the traffic, the desperate down-and-outs who tear off side mirrors at the traffic lights. Only at work do I connect with my compassionate side. Bitterness hasn't caught up with that part of me yet. At the start of 2013, I purchased a good apartment on Calle 93, near Chico Park. I dusted off some corporate shares and bought not just the apartment, but also a plot of land in Guasca, where I intend to build a little house in the mountains. In the same apartment, I set up a consulting room and, thanks to my credentials, had patients in no time. I confess I find most of them boring. Their fears are so predictable, and so are all of their complexes, inhibitions and thought processes. Nevertheless, I was short on other hobbies and fell back on therapy once more. Fortunately, the city has a very broad cultural offering, so every now and then I'm in the mood for a concert or exhibition. I set aside 2 afternoons a week for such things. Psychoanalysts earn plenty and, given my age and circumstances, I needn't work too much. In time, I started taking walks on these free afternoons. There's no way of getting to the city centre without spending 2 hours stuck in traffic, so I keep to my neighbourhood and